Young people today can easily drive from Erfurt to Frankfurt. The border between the Länder is not marked with barbed wire, and people can hike across that space without the fear of being shot. It is easy for them to ignore the symbolic and historic nature of this place, as well as its importance as a milestone on the timeline of our partnership. Observation Post Alpha, or OP Alpha, is a vivid symbol of the importance that the United States has long attached to a strong transatlantic relationship. It's easy to forget how difficult the beginnings were in the wake of 2 world wars and the shadow of the Cold War. Yet, as Secretary of State John Kerry recently said, in many respects, the Cold War looks simple compared to the problems that we face in the complex world of the 21st century. Consider the terrorist threat posed by extremists in the Middle East and parts of Africa that has begun to metastasize into Europe, the challenge of harnessing the economic impact of globalization, the growing dangers of climate change, and the crisis in Ukraine that threatens the rule of law and respect for territorial integrity that have been a hallmark of post-Cold War Europe. These are all vastly different challenges, but from where I sit, the German-American relationship is front and center in meeting every single one of them. Like the 25th anniversary of the Point Alpha Foundation that we are celebrating here today, as well as the other significant anniversaries that we are commemorating this year. They remind us of the lessons that those of us of a certain age have learned with our memories of the Luftbrücke, the building of the wall, Khrushchev and Kennedy, and that Reagan's visit to Berlin, Leipzig's peaceful revolution, and that extraordinary November night in Berlin in 1989. But my generation can perhaps relate to these lessons somewhat more easily than the many young Germans and Americans who were not even born when the wall came down in Berlin and right here. This is why the work of the Point Alpha Foundation is so meaningful. It helps to remind us of our shared history and also to put the challenges of today in their proper perspective. We thank you for maintaining and preserving this historic site, which I know is a labor of love, but perhaps even more important is your work with young people. One of our top priorities at the embassy and at our consulates is building new bridges between young Germans and young Americans.